overall thoughts headed into this weekend?
Huge weekend against a really, really good team. I think that I think they may be the best team we play all year. Certainly, that's not a knock on anyone else that we play, but they're that good. We watched the tape both games against UMass. They deserved a better fate. They lost 2 games late. They're going to come in here hungry and ready to go, and we know we got our work cut out for us.
Coach, what makes you say that? I mean, you played number 2 Denver. They bring in, this team brings in a very strong penalty kill. What do you see that you think makes them the best team?
Just their structure and their difficulty to play. They're so hard to play against. They just play the right way. They're insanely well coached. They have depth at every position. They're just really good. I like how they play.
Brandon, you talked about the physicality and the mindset kind of has to start on Tuesday rather than Friday night. How do you sort of get that physicality?
Well, we designed a practice today that set the tone for the week. That we're in full war on Friday, and if we play like we did last Friday, we stand zero chance. Like, this team will come in and they'll embarrass us. If we compete like we did on Sunday, then we like our chances. But if you don't compete against Providence, they're going to have on and off nights, but they always compete. So that's the one thing that I think Nate obviously does an incredible job is establishing what an identity is and what their identity needs to be, and then playing to that every game. That's why they've always had so much success.
Coach, you kind of talked about how sound they are, especially on the defensive end. How do you kind of attack a team like that is so sound in their own defensive end and doesn't allow a lot of shots?
Well, you just keep things simple. Just get pucks and bodies in the net, and kind of beat them at their own game. They're really good at the blue paint at both ends, so we're going to have to be, which is, again, a lot of the stuff you saw out there today in practice. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't really change for us, for anybody. We have to play to our identity. We have to worry about ourselves, be the best versions of ourselves, and if we are, again, we like our chances against anybody. We think we can beat anybody.
Is there anything you can take from other ranked opponents you guys have seen this year into this one?
No, I don't think so. I think this is, again, the best team we played. We played some really, really good hockey teams. We have to have our best week of practice that we've ever had this season, and we need to be our very best on Friday to have a chance to beat them.
Coach, we didn't get to talk to you last week, and of course Ray Anderson stepped down as the athletic director. Pivotal, really, for helping you and this whole hockey team be where it is today. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm happy for Ray that he's going to move into that next chapter of his life with Buffy. He's a great friend. He's a great man. I've made no bones about it that I'm going to miss him because he did so much for me and my family and so much for our program. Ray, without Ray, we don't exist, and the people, we love the affinity that we've built as a program. We have sold out crowds and unbelievable support from the ASU community. And it's important that the ASU community understands that this exists because Ray said yes. It would have been so easy for an athletic director who just started on a job at a Power 5 institution in the Pac-12 where hockey didn't exist at any institution, just to be like, hey, I got a million things on my plate I'm a little focused on. The last thing I need to do right now is add a sport, that's so far off the reservation from what would be normal to add a sport at Arizona State. And instead, he saw the opportunity and pounced on it and internally did things to make it happen. And without his tenacity and vision for what we have now become and are continuing to be, we're not here. So we owe everything to Ray, and he'll forever be a mentor, a friend, and somebody that I keep in touch with forever.
And piggybacking off that a little bit, you kind of talked about the arena. This doesn't exist without him. How cool is it to play in this arena and share some of the amenities with an NHL franchise playing in your arena?
It's cool. I think there's a lot of advantages to having the NHL here. Obviously, when on days like tomorrow, you're probably going to see St. Louis Blues will be out here at this time, and our guys can go in and get lunch and go up and watch an NHL team practice. So there's advantages to it. We're making the most of it because we have no other choice. But we enjoy them being here. We're proud that we've been able to provide a temporary home to keep the NHL in this market. We need to keep the NHL in this market. It's great for the growth of the game here and the Coyotes being here for the last 27, 28 years. has led to so many good things for the sport in our market. So we're thrilled to be sharing it with them right now.
Coach, some of the other coaches around ASU with the Ray Anderson kind of talked about the importance of NIL, right? And how, that's kind of an ever-changing thing in the current college landscape. What are your thoughts on NIL and what?
I mean, it's the reality of the world we live in. It exists, and I think if I'm old school, if I had my way, I'd probably not have it, but we have it. We have it, and we have to meet it head on, and we have to support it and deal with it appropriately. And we're doing things as a department to do that, and we're really excited about moving forward. And, yeah.
Coach.
Gratton called Providence blue collar. They've got the number one scoring defense in the country. You got one of the best offenses in the country. How do you sort of keep that offensive momentum going?
Again, just simplify, just get pucks and bodies in the net. Embrace how hard it's going to be to have success to score against a really stout team. And the only way to do that is to not get cute, and not to make things perfect. You got to get pucks in, you got to get pucks and bodies in the net, and earn every inch, and that's what we're going to have to do against them.
Coach, it's going to be a strong defensive game, and two guys that have kind of bonded, it seems, offensively, really, Ethan and Ty. What have you seen as their bond?
Yeah, I mean, they're the two guys we look to close out games. They're veterans, and they play hard. They're physical. They have good sticks. They know what their role is. Their role is to shut teams down, and we put them out there against other teams' top guys, and they embrace that. And then they're out there in winning time when we're up at late in the game to shut teams down, and they've done a great job of that.
Coach, I asked a couple guys last week about the net guards. Have you heard anything about them possibly mandating those?
I think USA Hockey's working towards, probably moving towards that, which you want to see. I mean, there's so many different options, whether it's a Kevlar kind of sleeve coming up from a gitch or an actual net guard. You see, it was really nice. I went to both of my son's games on Saturday, and half his team were wearing them. He didn't wear it in the first game, and I snapped on him, and he wore it in the second game. It's just so easy, especially for kids, to wear it and prevent things from happening that you just don't want to see happen in this great game. And it's such an easy fix, and hopefully more and more players at all levels start to play with them. I mean, Anze Kopitar, you saw him one last night in our building. He's one of the best players in the world. So it's good to see guys like that setting the example for younger players, and hopefully you'll see some of our guys on the levels got neck protection now, and hopefully more guys will follow suit. But it's their call. I'm not going to mandate that they do it, but I certainly support it.
Coach, kind of from a coaching standpoint, last weekend, like you had said, it's kind of weird having that Saturday off. You get it again this weekend on a Friday-Sunday series. Does it give you anything kind of different, maybe a day to process more what happened on Friday going into Sunday?
Yeah, it gave us a day to reflect and really process everything that happened Friday, and then really meet with the team Sunday morning, as opposed to Saturday, and because I did not like how we played Friday. I didn't like it. I didn't think that we worked. I didn't think we competed. I didn't think we executed really anything. We just found a way to win. And so, cooler heads prevailed, and I think we had a little bit more of a, it wasn't an easy meeting or film Sunday morning, but it was a lot easier than it would have been had we met on Saturday. So that was nice.
You mentioned one of your son's games. How great is it seeing them develop their game while also having, in a way, a bunch of other sons on this ASU team kind of mirroring?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. Hockey, is it's a family sport, and these kids that are all on our team, they grew up in rinks with their families, and families invest so much for their kids at the youth, especially at the AAA travel level, emotionally and financially, that it's hard. It's hard on families, but it's you get emotionally invested, and everybody's got a son playing the game, and so I get that side of it.
Coach, you built this to be the tradition, and I thought last Sunday afternoon you guys showed another step, and that was closing out teams. I call it a championship pedigree. Did it feel that way, like you made a move?
Yeah, no, I loved how we didn't give them really anything the entire game, minus about a 5-minute stretch, and that the lesson from the 5-minute stretch, that they had a few chances and had us on our heels a little bit was Dylan Jackson's retaliatory penalty. And so, again, it's a learning moment for our guys. We were closing them out, skating them really, to the point where they just couldn't breathe, they couldn't operate, and we did that for 2.5 periods, and then have a chance to go on a power play. We take a penalty, we give them momentum. So it was a good learning experience for our guys. But yeah, the 2 losses we've had 3-goal leads. So learning how to close out games and play the right way, and our guys, what they need to understand, and I think they're learning, is that when you go up 2 or 3, you just have to play the right way. Teams are going to press, and they're going to give you opportunities. And if you play the right way and you don't start to cheat it because you have a lead, that's when your lead grows to 4 or 5. So we have a mature group that's learned that, and twice the hard way, and I agree. I think they took a step on Sunday.
Last question.
In July, you looked like, on paper anyway, that you had, I called it the 5th best team in college hockey, depth-wise. Does it feel like that depth is making a difference right now at this point in the season?
Yeah, I'd like to know how you computed that, but we're deep. You're absolutely right. I mean, we have really, really good hockey players, especially the freshmen. Like a Matthew Romer and a Tony Akili and a Cole Helm, and a David Heimovich, that haven't really got to play. And knock on wood, we're healthy. That's a big reason, and we're winning. But if you watched our practice today and you saw how good those guys were and how hard they worked and how much they're pushing the guys that are in, it all trickles down, and that's why we're winning, because these guys show up every day to support their teammates and push them in practice. And I have no doubt in my mind, with how deep we are, no matter who we call on, we can get it done, including those guys that haven't got opportunity yet. And we're looking forward to them getting opportunity. When it will be, I don't know. They just have to stick with it, and they know that.
Big series win against Alaska Anchorage. What do you think you guys did well to get that sweep?
Friday night to Sunday night, we definitely focused on trying to get back to our identity, playing hard, fast hockey. I think it definitely showed. Friday night, we were able to sneak away with a win, which was good, and we needed to. But Sunday night game was a way more our style and how we want to play moving forward.
You got Providence coming in this week. I mean, how do you kind of now transition from playing Alaska to a top-ranked Providence team that's big, they're fast?
I mean, we definitely need to build off what we did on Sunday. Sunday, we can take away a lot of good things that we did. We were a lot harder on the forecheck, a lot more physical, a lot more willing to get to the hard areas of the ice. So we need to keep on doing that. Moving into this weekend, we know Providence is going to be a blue-collar team. They work really hard. They're good. So we got to show up and give our best.
This series is kind of similar to last weekend. It's a Friday, Sunday with that Saturday in the middle. What's that Saturday like? Typically you're playing Friday, Saturday. Now you've got it off. 2 weekends in a row. Does that give you a chance to kind of reset and go, all right, here's...
Yeah, I mean, you got to take advantage of it. It's an extra day of rest you get before the second game. You got that much more time. So it's really just about getting your body feeling right, recovering. If you need to stretch, like everyone's been getting loose. I mean, it's nice. You kind of get to decompress a little bit, get a little extra sleep, get your mind right, come in ready to go on Sunday.
How do you guys make sure you're playing more like you did on Sunday this weekend instead of like how you guys did on Friday?
It's just really sticking to the identity. Like all week, we're going to have an emphasis on competing in practice, doing a lot of battle drills over in that front. So hopefully we have the right mentality going into the weekend after a good week of practice.
I'm going to piggyback on that. You said they're really blue collar. They have one of the top scoring defense in the country, one of the top scoring offense in the country. How do you kind of keep that offensive momentum going against a really tough scoring defense?
Getting pucks to the net, getting bodies to the blue paint. Against a team that works hard like that, you definitely need to own the hard areas of the ice. So trying to penetrate the house in the O zone, taking care of our own net front, winning pucks in the corners. And then we're going to have to expose them in like quick transition like we do with a lot of teams. So just really sticking to our identity. Nothing really changes. We're still going to play hard, fast, physical, so it should be good.
Defensively, you guys have been really solid this year. And 2 guys that kind of form a bond, Ethan Schmeggy, Ty Murchison. As a captain's team, what have you kind of seen in that bond?
I mean, I don't know what it was like before I got here, but like since the beginning, like they're 2 guys that hang around, spend a lot of time with each other. It kind of shows out in the ice. They definitely have a little chemistry with each other. just from the amount of time they spend together. I think they live together too, so they don't really separate from each other's sides. But yeah, they're big for us on the back end. They play a lot of big minutes for us on the PK and the games, stuff like that. So we'll definitely need them moving forward. They bring a physical presence to us too.
Obviously, coming in your first year here, how kind of cool is it, play and share an arena with an NHL team, and kind of guys are on you all the time, and some of the visiting NHL teams are here.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely cool. I haven't had the chance to make it out to a game yet. I'm hoping to do so here shortly. But yeah, I mean it's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. I'll be excited to see what it's like for a Coyotes game compared to our games.
We're now a week and a half removed from that Denver series. Are there any takeaways you guys can kind of take from playing a tough opponent and apply it to another tough opponent in Providence?
I mean, as an independent team, it doesn't really matter who you're playing. You need to show up to play every game. So, I mean, I really think that just like sticking to our identity, playing a hard, fast game regardless of who's dressing up on the other side is going to bring our team to try and will us to success. So if we can stick with our own mentality and not really focus about the other team, obviously those two teams are really good. They're going to be really good all year. But we need to just take it as another weekend, playing the top team that's going to play really hard, and we got to match that or be better.
From a captain's perspective, what would you just say, like, where this team needs to grow and where their strengths are right now?
I mean, we can always get better. I think the one thing is maybe a little bit more consistency, night in, night out. If we can try and replicate what we did Sunday every game, then we won't go into those tight games like we did on Friday night against Alaska, where it was 3-4, and luckily our power play stepped up when we needed it to, and special teams was able to win us a hockey game. So, I mean, I think as a team, if we can be a little bit more consistent night in, night out, it'll really help us in here in the long run.
Just kind of your thoughts on Providence coming to town this weekend. Like you said, top scoring defense in the country.
Yeah, I played them for the last 4 years, so they're a hard team to play against. But I think if we stick to our game plan, hard, fast, execute on the power play, we'll be just fine.
Tyler talked a lot about your guys' identity. How would you guys define this team's identity?
Yeah, hard and fast. They harp on us all year. Just being physical down low, being quick with the puck, making quick transitions, and just being hard to play against.
So you guys obviously really focus on that identity, and Providence is also a program that has a hard and heavy identity. Does that make it harder at all for you guys to play your identity, knowing that the guys on the other side are also playing a very similar style?
Yeah, I think it would be a good matchup, right? I mean, similar to the Merrimack weekend. First game I think was 0-0 all game. Like, it was just a tight game, and I think we're probably going to look forward to some of that hockey. But we'll be ready for it this time, and hopefully, like the way our power play's been clicking, like we edge them that way, and we can get a couple wins.
You just hit on it, the way the power play's been clicking, top 4 in the country. Providence brings in a really good penalty kill, so how do you attack on a power play against a really strong penalty kill?
We just trust in our guys, like Silly, Jackson's, Kopp, and Tim. They probably had 4 or 5 goals this weekend. I believe they can do it again, and we'll see it this weekend.
And TJ with another shutout. How amazing is it just for you guys out there on the ice to have that confidence knowing that he's got you?
Yeah, he's awesome. I think it was like a couple times in the 10-minute mark in the third period, he just made huge saves that helped us secure the weekend, so it's great having him back there.
You transferred here in this offseason, and you're already one of the best playmakers on this team. What do you think went into that transition being so easy?
I just think some of the guys I play with, like right now I play with Gratz and Kopp, and they're just unbelievable players, so it's easy to play out there with them on my wings.
Obviously, kind of touching on with Tyler a little bit, Coyotes playing here, you guys playing here, new here. What is it kind of like, playing in the NHL arena, sharing it, and kind of having some scouts, with the away teams being here as well?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think we're spoiled. Like, we get all the same amenities as the NHL club, so it's pretty cool, and it's something like that I just feel grateful for every single day.
Obviously, Providence coming to town. What are your thoughts on them? Obviously, a tough team, like we talked about before.
Yeah, they're a really good team. I played against them last year. We respect them a lot, but I think our main message this week is to focus on us, regardless of the opponent. Like, if we play to our brand, play our identity, we believe we can play with anybody. So we expect to have success.
You kind of talked about you played them last year, and obviously one of the big things about them is their identity, right? They play to a hard and heavy identity like you guys. Is there anything else that you kind of saw about the program when you played them?
Yeah, I think like you said, they're really hardworking. They are hard, they're fast, but so are we. And I think that we have speed, and speed kills, right? Like, if we play to our strengths, we're moving the puck, guys are supporting each other, like, it's going to be really tough for them to get hard on us, finish hits on us when we're buzzing. So that's kind of our game plan.
Today at practice, definitely aggressiveness was on full display. So how do you think having those type of practices translate to that heavy mindset that you guys are going to play with?
Yeah, I think it just prepares us mentally. Like, if we start on Tuesday thinking we're going to be hard and heavy, it translates. Like, we can't just turn it on Friday nights. It's about establishing it really early in the week. So I'm sure, like you said, like that's what we were going for today, and I think we had a really good practice, and we're going to do it again tomorrow.
Can you guys kind of pull off the mindset you had against Denver? I mean, on a top-ranked team going into this weekend, can you kind of reset and try to go to that mindset at all and attack this team the same way you attacked Denver?
Yeah, definitely. I know it's my first year being on an independent team, but I think in general, like, every game is so paramount. So we know Denver's really good. They're going to be really good. And it's the same exact thing with Providence, where they're going to be a really good team all the way to the end. So we know, like, we got to bank these wins. It's really important, especially a home game. Like, this is the time. Like, our season, it's in November. Like, right now is the time. So.
Ryan kind of touched on a little bit your transfer minutes or just kind of sharing the memories from the NHL team. If you like sharing the memories from the NHL team and bringing an NHL around.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like, even if an away team here is for a pregame skate, you kind of see it, and it's like they're living the dream, and it's so close to us, and you can learn from like their little habits you see when they're practicing. Like, you just take in the little things, and it's really cool, and I'm definitely appreciative of it.
You kind of, like you said, the morning skate, coming here, you kind of talk to some of those other guys on some NHL teams about
I keep my distance. I think that they're kind of getting dialed in for the games at night. Kind of just try to watch them like a respectful distance, but still take in like what the D are doing, especially for me, and just see like the fundamentals they work on, even in a little morning skate. Like, they're the best, and if you can learn even one little thing and bring it into your own game, it could be huge.
Do you think any of those things have translated to your play this season?
Yeah, I think that just how simple they are with the puck and how confident they are in their touches is something I try to do. So.
How big has it been, having what's it, 4 straight home series, like not having to go on the road? Just like how big of a difference is that?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I know for the past couple of years here, like they've been grinding on the road, doing all those away trips. So, kind of came at the right time, I guess. But it's good. Like, rest is a weapon. Where it's huge that we can stay home. Like, we sleep in our own beds, and it helps us get ready for sure. It's an advantage. We should have to take advantage of it. So.
As a fellow defenseman, both Ethan and Ty have seemed to have a really strong bond together. What have you seen defensively?
Yeah, my favorite part of the day is when they bike together in their suits. No, they're awesome, and like they're veteran D, and I was a new D here, and they kind of like to help just show me how things run around here. But they're awesome, like really good guys on and off the ice, dependable, can always count on them. Like, just really good attitudes and really good people.
Sunday afternoon, you guys, what I call looked like a championship pedigree when you took a 1-0 lead, a 2-0 lead, and then you get that empty netter. Does it feel like you guys are turning the corner now towards championship culture here?
It felt really good. I think with every win, we get more and more momentum, and we believe in ourselves even more. What we did really well Sunday is that obviously our 2 losses had been blown leads, so I think we go up 1-0, we go up 2-0. It was critical that we close that game out in like a convincing fashion, and we did that, so it was huge.
I don't know how many people saw it, but I saw your celly along the bench. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, honestly, before I got out there for the 6-on-5, I was talking to Hicksy, and he said, just don't ice it, let's stay composed. So I just went to go high flip it, not to try to score a goal, but just to get fresh bodies out. We're already winning 2-0, don't need another goal. But then I said, like, kind of just started to go more and more towards the net, and I was like, here we go. And then I was already close to the bench. I was like, let me just do a quick celly down the line, and they don't ask how, right? So it was good.